Right, I have now installed both the EasyDown as well as the EasyLift system on my 2019 Ranger XLS, and I'd like to show you what the result looks like. So if I open it and I let go, then this is what we have. Right, so you can see in the corner here, that is the EasyDown system, and then if we look down here, there is a torsion bar that runs along there, all the way along there, where it goes into the bodywork, and that is where the torsion action occurs. What you need is inside there, on the underside of the car, there's a little plastic, what shall we call it, retainer that you have to just clip in from underneath. You need this little spring or little hook of sorts that you need there, and you need these two bolts, and then on the other side you need the bolt that goes in there. I bought all those parts from Ford, and I'll put the costs in the comments below, as well as the part numbers that are required. To install it, it's a bit of a mission, but I had to loosen this bolt that sits underneath here, as well as these two bolts outside here, and I had this bolt as loose as possible, but still positively catching the thread to allow the torsion bar to tilt forward. And that allowed me to install this edge, or this point, into the bodywork by basically closing the lid. The lid was almost fully closed, and that allowed, that combined with the forward tilt that was permitted by this loose bolt, allowed me to get the torsion bar into its retaining socket over there quite easily. And then afterwards I had to fasten these bolts again, which was a bit of a challenge, because now there's a torsion action on the flap. But what I did was, I had a bit of a crowbar here, and I used the crowbar to just wedge it in like that to lift up this little bracket, because there was a bit of a torsion action on it, and I just used the crowbar just to lift it back into position, so that these two bolts were catching in exactly the same position as before. And so the installation wasn't too much of a challenge. You can see there's a slight mark that was left there, but this is a soft substance. It's like a rubbery substance over which was painted. So knowing this, perhaps one could put a bit of a plank or something there just to protect it if that's an issue. But there we are. So now I can close the lid with one hand quite easily, and opening it is a matter of just letting it go. Almost looks as though it's electronically controlled, at least in the opening direction. So there it is, very nice.